I'm just messing around.
Great.
How many DMs do you get a day?
This is where we okay. So that's how we're
Yeah,
starting off,
this is
ladies and
this is it
gentlemen.
right there. Yeah.
What when you ask how many
Mm,
DMs,
mm.
you
How many
mean
do you think?
like
How many do you think you get a day? Let's talk about overall, and then we'll just get into specifics. You don't got to read them.
I won't read them.
No, of course not.
That's if you want to subscribe, YouTube video of me reading 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 my DMs. Just so you know.
That might be the first audio edit I ever do in this podcast, only because I want them to hear that whisper. Please subscribe to Nicole, guys. If you don't know, this is Nicole.
Hey guys, it's Nicole.
Hey guys, it's Nicole.
You can insert that face from Vine.
I know this podcast is actually gonna have edits in there. Like I'm legit gonna throw stuff in there.
Perfect. So yeah, just put her face on mine.
She does TikToks. You do TikToks? You have a YouTube channel now?
Yes, I do.
She's in the process of.
I'm basically so famous. I'm super famous. I have 200 subscribers. So
You got like 20K on TikTok. Yeah, like that's good. TikTok 20K on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So like, do you think you get more DMs on Instagram or on TikTok?
No, people barely message you on TikTok.
Because your DMs are closed or what?
No. Like people message me, but it's not like.
It's not where.
It's just different. Like when you are like messaging someone on TikTok, it's with a deliberate like you have a message to get across. It's not usually I'm hitting on you.
Yeah. But Instagram it is.
Yeah, like if you were gonna hit on somebody, you do the classic rundown. You go to Instagram, you like a few pictures, then you DM them. So that's usually how it happens. Since you're asking me how many DMs I get a day,
roughly.
I say like on average at least 10. No, yeah, 10. Yeah, 10.
Well, that's surprising and it's not surprising. So like it's two different directions it can go, right? It's surprising in the sense of like I would think it's going to be more, but
I mean it is because if I were to show you my DM requests, I barely answer those. I got like 50 DM requests.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking about, Nicole. Like those count.
You're asking me like daily. I don't know. I don't check my DM requests. I suck at that. That takes too long. Jimmy has like 0 posts, so it's hard for me to like. Oh, okay, whatever. I'll check it later.
So you think maybe like 20, 15? What do you think ballpark if you're guessing with the requests?
I'm saying at least 10. At least 10.
Okay.
And then it fluctuates. Like how many posts did I post that day? You know.
The type of post, whatever, right?
Type of post.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's surprising in the sense of like, well, I guess it's surprise. 10's a good amount. It's surprising because you would be like, maybe it's a little bit more. Like I would guess it's more if you checked your requests or whatever. Maybe some days it is, maybe some days it isn't. But then it's also not surprising because there's like, I feel like when you are a good-looking girl on the internet, there is to some extent like there's guys that just have no shame and they're going to send DMs all day. But then also there's a lot of people that are probably like intimidated to message girls because they're like, oh, I'm not going to get a response anyway.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Bless you. No, you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
I was hoping like more was going to come out, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I don't care. This podcast is not that type of there's no formality to it. You can sneeze all you want.
Perfect, because I might come up again.
Good stuff. Okay. So, oh God, this is what happens.
This is just a fancy FaceTime call.
It's not fancy. We're gonna see. It's kind of fancy.
Headphones.
It's just because I'm extra when it comes to this type of stuff. Honestly, no, but okay. So like your DMs.
Yes.
I would assume like out of those 10, a good amount of them probably trying to hit on you.
Yeah, like 7.
So like, what kind of pickup lines do you get? What are their openers?
I wish I could show. I'm gonna play the audio of one for you.
Oh, you have audio
I got today.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna show his face. Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm gonna be making a video reviewing some of the DMs I've gotten. So. Anyways, so yeah, I died with this one. I'll just play it for you guys. Um,
Because I think I'm feeling a connection. Hey, girl, is your name Wi-Fi? Because I think I'm feeling a connection. Hey.
Oh,
yeah,
yo,
that was pretty good, right? But
I
also
think
really bad.
just marry that dude. You need to
Absolutely
marry
not.
that dude
No,
for real.
no. But I've had people send me like a legit application. Like one was for their brother. Like
Like,
sent me pictures, what they do, their name, their age.
what do you say?
I'm like, wow, I'm so flattered. And then I'll
Yeah,
like if they're cute, like I'll follow them, like
yeah, yeah.
but
Engage a little bit, see what
yeah,
there is.
engage a little,
Yeah.
Um,
But that dude, just specifically, I won't touch on that much more. Just saying, you should probably marry that dude.
no. If
Sure.
that were to happen, I would have had to marry a lot of people.
That's that. Were there any better than that? You don't got to pull them up if you don't
Oh
want to.
my
But
gosh, yeah. I've gotten well, sorry, my nose is running, so you might want to cut out this
I
part.
don't care. I'm gonna leave it all in.
Okay, good. It's the ring light.
Is it really? Oh yeah, and you look at the light, make you sneeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So there was one narcissistic DM that I've gotten. Well, I've gotten a couple, but there's a one that was extremely narcissistic. And it was like literally the dude sent me like over 20 like video messages of him talking about himself.
Like trying to sell himself to you.
Yes, to try to sell himself to me. Like not even giving me room to like respond.
Was he a
Just
good looking
like
dude?
he was a good looking dude, but that's a huge red flag. He in love with himself. He said, I'm good looking and I'm gonna send her like over 20 videos.
It probably works. It
No,
probably
it
works.
didn't.
No, not with you, but I'm saying that like his batting average,
No,
it had to have worked with somebody for him to do that because you like there is
you
nobody
don't
sane.
understand. If I had watched all those videos,
Mhm.
it would have been 30 minutes. Like I'm not exaggerating. Like I have some of it screen recorded because I was dying. Like I still haven't watched all of them.
But you don't think that's worked with another girl? Because like you think he just abruptly said, "Nah, I'm sending Nicole these face messages."
Listen, if it worked with another girl, something's not working with her. Because that's not good. That's a lot. I mean, it would be good, if like, I don't know, if it was less and the person had given like me room to respond back, just not like talking about themselves the whole time. It's just like, okay, you don't really care what I have to say. So,
Yeah, kind of like I am this catch. Come look at me, and then I'll figure out about you later.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is kind of odd. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe it works with other girls. That uh, not even in like my worst days in my early 20s would I ever even think to do that. That's why I'm like, and I was like a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I just think of that. I'm like, it had to have worked because there's no other reason why he would have done that. But
I think he was just something wasn't clicking.
was he same age, older, younger?
He was a little older. He was like 26.
Yeah, never mind. You're right. That is a red flag. That dude's probably pouring his milk before he pours his cereal. Like,
Oh,
you
for
know what I
real.
mean?
So much splashback in the face. Not. Yeah, no.
Okay, so I made this video, right? I made a video today,
Okay.
yesterday. No, I uploaded it. I made it last night. And it's about that whole question thing. Like, do you choose who you fall in love with? We won't harp on this the whole time.
But a lot of the time.
But a little bit. But a little bit.
But a good chunk of the time. Okay.
So first, I'll just give your opinion really quick. I'm not even gonna explain it for you. Just tell everyone like what you think. If you guys don't know, the video is about like the question revolves around the question: do you choose who you fall in love with?
Yeah. No. I mean, wait. No, no, no. No, I mean, yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. That's
No,
twice.
I was saying
That's
no
twice.
to what you were saying. Yes, you do choose who you fall in love with. There's a verse that talks about that the Lord commands us to guard our heart, and if we didn't have the capacity and ability to do so, to guard our heart from who we let in and who we let fester feelings, who we start to care for, whatever, then why would he command us to do that? It wouldn't make any sense. I think when it comes to attraction and chemistry, that's something we can't necessarily help. Like I can't help if I'm attracted to somebody, you know. Attraction is just attraction, but when it comes to allowing that person to have room in my heart and for love to develop, that's my choice. And that's why I believe that you choose who you fall in love with. It's not like I meet this really hot guy at Publix, and just because I'm attracted to them, I'm like 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, I'm in love with them. No, that you're confusing love with lust and infatuation. It's not the same thing. And I feel like a lot of people confuse lust and infatuation with love because that's what we see in the media, that's what we see in movies, and that's not the case. Two totally different things. So
it's true. It's true. You didn't say anything that was like that could be argued. I think there are gaps to be filled, right? So
okay.
like so check this out. One of the things we were talking about right before we start recording, right, was like you can't pick who you're attracted to, right? So even outside of like let's just say this. Like remember I told you I've seen like girls that were like gorgeous, and like I'm like, oh, this girl's gorgeous. I could talk to them, they're really cool, blah blah blah. No type of like real attraction to them. I'm just like, oh, they're attractive, but I'm not like drawn to them like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. But then there's some people that you meet a girl and you're like, oh, she's attractive. I think she's really good looking, and she could look almost like a complete carbon copy of the one you saw before, right? But for whatever reason, you are attracted. You have chemistry with her.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't get to choose that. And that's a catalyst that gets you to the point.
It's a catalyst, but it
right.
doesn't determine whether or not you love somebody.
But it is something you don't choose.
Correct. Those are attributes that you enjoy, that you like you enjoy that person's personality, you're attracted to them. But that doesn't determine like you're like that you are in love with that person.
No, you're right. But the thing that gets you to that point many times is something that you don't choose.
Yes.
Right. So
but there's also other aspects that are involved, especially if you're a believer, like, you know, if you're a Christian, like you got to make sure that their values line up with the word of God, you know, like do they pursue you correctly? Are they financially stable, mentally stable? Do they love people well? Do they actually love God? You know, those are important questions and standards that you need to have before you choose that person, to allow them to have room in your heart and for love to occur, for love to develop. So you have to choose that person with the attributes that they have before you continue to spend time with them for that love to develop. Because love isn't just love at first sight, whatever, that's trash. That's lust. That's lust. I don't know. Disney, I don't know who you trying to play, but that ain't a thing, girl. That's lust. That ain't love. Okay. But love is as strong as that. Like, you know, like I forgot. It's in First Corinthians 13, right?
Something.
Where it talks about love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. And that's what love is. That's something that develops. That's something that we have to choose. And it's not something that is just like, oh, yeah, I can't help that I love you.
So like, okay. In like a spiritual sense, right?
Yeah.
I get exactly what you're saying. You can't debate it, right? Obviously, nothing that you're saying is wrong. But I also think that there's a whole other side to that, right? So it's like this. You could be like, okay, like God choosing us, like it's enough evidence to be like, you choose who you love. That's the epitome of it right there, right? Also at the same time, like you don't get to choose who loves you, right? So like that part alone in itself, it's like, if I look at it from just like a selfish standpoint, like just or my own perspective, I'm like, I'm only thinking about who I choose, who I choose, who I choose. But then I'm also not thinking about like like who chooses me. And that just in itself plays like a really, really big factor. So like you might want to fall in love with somebody, you might think that you're choosing it, but you don't necessarily always have a say.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like that's the part that gets me. Like you don't get to choose the catalyst that gets you there to that point to fall in love with somebody, and then you don't get to choose that person that you're pursuing wants your love wants to reciprocate that love, right? So from one perspective, from my own one, I'm like, yeah, love is a choice, but then also the variables in there, there's a lot of variables that I have no say over. So that's why I say I agree with you, like 80%, 90% ish, maybe.
You can't choose whether that love is reciprocated, because even Jesus can't choose if that love is reciprocated, you know?
Maybe. Oh, I don't even want to get in that rabbit hole because I feel,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm just
I
letting
don't
you
know.
know, like, I'm just
Well,
saying.
I don't know. I don't know if he could choose it. I don't know.
No, I
That's
mean,
too crazy of a. Ah, man.
he pursues us, you know, he pursues us till the end, but you know, it's ultimately our choice whether or not we reciprocate that love, but he chose us. He chose all of us. So, yeah.
But so like, but like, let's just say like in regards to a relationship with like another person,
Uh-huh.
you choose who you fall in love with, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever falling in love is, but you don't necessarily choose who you're attracted to that has to get you
Yeah.
there. And you don't choose if the other person wants to reciprocate that love and wants to do the same thing. So you have a choice, I guess, to an extent, but not entirely, right? Because the things that are out of your hands are
Well, I
how do
can
they,
love somebody and then not love me back.
of course,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily you don't get to the point of falling in love with them, even if you choose to.
Well, that's not true. If I am really good friends with somebody and like feelings have started to develop and it's like we've been friends for like a year or two, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I don't say anything, you know, but I didn't guard my heart well because I'm spending time with that person, you know, like um, I do have a choice whether or not I stop loving that person in that way. You know, there's different types of loves, but um, dang it, I forgot why I brought it here. What were you? Ah,
I,
dang
th-
it.
I don't know. I will. Okay, so like the thing that makes that hard too is this. It's like when you really care about somebody and you go through some type of heartbreak, you
Yes.
don't really have control over that either, right? So like it's just the more that I look at it, all the variables I have no control over. Zero. Except for like who I'm choosing or who I think I'm choosing.
No, you choosing them.
I
You
mean,
choosing
you're
them.
trying to. You are attempting to pursue. You're not like choosing them. Like you kind of are in the sense of like that is who I'm going to pursue. But also everything else after that you have no say.
But you do though. You
Mm,
could say, I I like this person, whatever. I love this person, and then you know what? But I don't want to be with them. I'm gonna end it. You
yeah.
have that choice, and
Yeah,
because
but
of that choice, you'll eventually stop loving that person in that way.
so do you feel like you could choose to fall in love with somebody, but you can't choose to fall out of it? You have to that has to happen on its own.
No, I believe you can fall out of love with somebody too.
No, you can, but by choice.
Yeah, by choice.
I
Absolutely.
don't know about that, Nicole.
It takes some time. It takes a healing time, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you make the choice to go in that direction, but you can't flip the switch and wake up one day and say, I don't love that person anymore.
It's a process.
You
And
think
it's
that,
not it's like you can love somebody but not like you could care for them and not like love love them, you know.
yeah, but
You
like,
know what I mean?
I know what you're
Oh,
saying, but like, if, like, well, if you could choose to fall out of love with them, wouldn't you want to not go through all the hurt and just skip it? Because if you were like hurt by something, like I got through breakups and I was like in the past where I was like, man, this sucks. If I could choose to just flip the switch off, I would have done it.
it's not necessarily switch, just the same way like you choosing to allow that person to have a place in your heart. That was gradual. That was a gradual process. And the same with like choosing to this person's not going to have that place in my heart anymore. That's a gradual process of God removing them from your heart.
So
So
it still doesn't sound like it's your choice though.
it is though. It is. I can choose whether or not I'm deciding
Uh,
that I don't want this person to be in my heart, to have such a big place in my heart. And by doing that, I'm not going to spend as much time with them. I'm not going to FaceTime call them every night. I'm not going to text them anymore. Um, and that's a choice that you make, and it's a process of healing, and but it's your choice. It's just, it's gradual,
so when you get married, it's like it doesn't matter. I mean, there's obviously things that matter, right? That'd be dumb to say like nothing matters. I'm just saying like you have a criteria, they got to fit that criteria, and then if the feelings after that, which we could call attraction, chemistry, whatever you want to call it, if those aren't there, then like you would still move forward.
Of course, you're married. It's different now.
No, not
You're under a
marriage, not married. I'm saying
Oh,
you're looking at somebody you're thinking about. If I said married, then I said it wrong, but you're thinking about marrying them. You want to marry them, or you think you want to marry them, and then they fit all your criteria, but you don't necessarily have that chemistry with them. But let's say they line up and they're like almost like spot on to your list.
well, then
So
you have to evaluate yourself before you confront that person. Is this just a personal me issue? Like, what's going on? Am I just scared of commitment? Or like, Lord, if I don't know what's like, I don't have the question because I haven't been in a place where I've been in a serious relationship with somebody,
yeah,
and it's been long enough where it's like that's happened. Um, and like it was to the point where it was serious. Like we were both like thinking about getting married for real and like doing all that stuff. Um, but I think if you've invested a lot in that person and you're starting to feel this way, maybe evaluate yourself, pray about it, and like, try to figure out what's going on because it could just be like, I don't know. I don't
you
know.
you feel like your feelings for people, if when you look at it like a choice, does it make you feel like, well, it doesn't make you feel like this way, but I'm asking you this to kind of like stimulate the question, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your love for other people, when you look at it like this, can be based around a criteria rather than selflessness?
Explain. Explain. What do you
Because when you were looking for a spouse, I think generally most people that are sane have the same perspective of like there does need to be a criteria whether people admit it or not. There is a criteria, and like it's just, you can call it standard, you call it whatever you want, but it's there. And if we look at those entirely, do we feel like that is kind of making people meet certain like standards from our perspective in like a selfish way, or is it like because of our
I
actual
think
feelings?
I think there's certain standards that it's not even just for you, but it's also for if you're looking to build a family with that person, guess what? You're going to be raising kids with them, You're not only it's not only going to just be you. When you come under a covenant with that person, you become one flesh. So their issues become your issues. So if you're getting into a relationship with them and they got bad like bad issues, you shouldn't get involved with that because the goal is to get married. So with certain standards, I don't think it's selfish, but when you have this criteria, like what we were talking about earlier, like you have this criteria, you're dating that person for a while and you don't necessarily feel in love anymore, like you still care for that person, but you don't feel in love, then it could it could be an issue, but it could also be a point like that marriage is you're gonna have those points where you're just gonna feel that way, and that's why you need to learn to be selfless before you get into being married and stuff like that. Um, and I don't know, I can't give too much advice on that,
No,
or points for whatever, because that hasn't happened to me.
no, same
But
here. I'm like, I'm not married. I don't know. I'm all
I
telling
don't
them.
know, man. I
I
don't know.
know.
I haven't been with somebody and then like fallen out of love with them.
Well, you know what? That's how I felt after I made my video yesterday. I was like, "Ah, man, like I guess this is kind of like entertaining to watch. And I go, what am I making this for? I'm like the last person that should be making a video on this.
Just two people that don't really know what they're talking about. Yeah.
I know, right? Just like those people like talking about like they're like not doctors, but they're just on the news talking about like
Oh yeah,
coronavirus. It's like two
yeah.
people. Yeah.
yeah, like vaccines totally cause autism. No, I don't. I'm not in healthcare.
Oh, I have heckle friends like that. Hella friends like that. I'm gonna have
I'm
people
in
message me.
healthcare.
I'm gonna have people message me. They're gonna make like a joke and they're like, "Hey, no, but really, vaccines, like blah blah blah," and then they're gonna start sending me those weird side of YouTube
Uh,
videos.
yeah,
So for
no
those dudes in your
vaccines.
DMs, what are you
Yeah,
looking for in a husband for those dudes in your DMs?
wait, sorry, we were both saying something. What were you
For
saying?
those dudes in your DMs, what are you
Yeah.
looking for in a husband? Let them know.
Oh,
Let that dude know. The one that
he
sent the
said,
voice
what
message.
you looking for in your boy? Okay. Well, since you asked, they have to be hot. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be attracted to you.
It's a
Like
prerequisite, right?
yeah, it's important. Like um. Anyways, so that's important. They gotta love Jesus, obviously.
Right.
If you don't love Jesus, bye. Sorry. No, I ain't out here to missionary date. Listen, that ain't healthy.
I've never
Um,
heard that before.
you've never heard that before?
Ah,
You should like insert like the definition of missionary dating.
this is where I'm like semi-old. I'm not old in like worldly things.
No, literally, it's just like okay. So
But like in
basically,
like Christianity things, I'm like an old person.
well then you should know this. I'm gonna explain it to you, and you're gonna be like, oh,
I know what it
missionary.
means. I
Oh,
mean like I get it. It's just that like I get the wordplay. I just never really, you know what I mean? I've heard it called other things. But yeah, go ahead.
anyways. So yeah, you gotta be strong in your faith. I've talked to too many Christian men that are not stable. All right, you got to be mentally stable, financially stable, and there's one more: mentally stable, financially stable. Oh, and you got to be fit, man. Look at these gains. I'm trying to find somebody who can work out with me. Okay. Anyways, that's important. You have to love Disney because I love Disney. Um, yeah, it's really important, and Marvel.
And what?
You have to
Oh,
you
Marvel.
have yeah, you have to have elite humor. Okay? That's important. Um if you don't got elite humor, bye. Okay? You can't make me laugh.
Yeah.
Just goodbye. What else? You have to, be willing to dance with me in public and freestyle with me in the car. And I feel like that covers pretty much most of it.
You're right, guys. It's not that long of a list, guys. It's not. That's
It's
everything right
honestly,
there.
it's honestly not that hard. It really isn't though. Like it's not a crazy list if you think about it.
It's not. It's not. I'm curious to like. It's not like I could like. I'm curious to know what it's going to be like when you end up falling in love with somebody and finding out you were wrong.
Oh, what?
That's
What do you mean?
about all of that where you're gonna because so this is the thing too. I wasn't gonna say this right because it's a bad argument. It's like anecdotal, but I was gonna be like,
Okay.
if you were to actually like, you might end up one day meeting somebody that is like cliche, like everyone else ends up, going through, and it's like some movie crap, and you end up like getting married, and you're like, oh, it's the greatest person I've ever met, blah 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 blah. Like that's probably gonna happen.
No.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But then I'm gonna take a screenshot of it when it does, and then I'll just send it to you like, hey, check this out.
Listen, I've had
Or a screen recording of this.
I've I've whatever. I've had those experiences before.
Mhm.
I've had an experience like that.
Yeah.
And then he took my heart and he went like this.
The puppet. I was waiting for it to come out. The puppet. Guys, before we got on, like Nicole was like, should I bring my puppet out? And I thought she was joking. I was like, oh, that's really funny. Like that's something I would say. But then she legit got up and she brought a puppet in. Like
I
actually.
just I told him I would bring him out in case things got like, dry or not entertaining. Anyways, okay. Sorry.
You don't gotta apologize. This is like I'm just happy that you actually had it on hand. I would have never like the first person ever that I've done content with to ever bring out a puppet. I've had people do some weird stuff on
For real?
not on
Like
here.
what?
Uh, like stuff that like I would just not be able to put on Instagram. Like I used to go and do these live streams on where I'd go on Omegle and just talk to people. And if like you know anything about Omegle, it just gets wild and disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Have you ever been on Omegle or no?
No,
Don't
but
go.
I've seen a lot of videos.
Don't go on. Don't go on. It's fun
This,
for like 5 minutes until it's not fun. And then
this
you're like,
one
I should never
dude
done that.
evangelizes on me. I was like, that's pretty cool. That's dope.
That's in theory, that is dope. Actually, not in theory. Literally, that is dope.
Yeah,
To
that is dope.
actually
What do you mean in
to
theory?
because I'm saying this, to actually do it, I'm not like you'll see some gross stuff on there. That's what I'm saying. Like
You just like if you're gonna do it, just like
you gotta do it with your eyes
like this.
closed.
You just gotta do it like this. Hey,
That's
how are
exactly
you?
what it.
Jesus Christ loves you. I hope you're having an awesome day. Can I pray for you for anything?
What is it like? What's it like for you dating as like someone that believes
I
in
just find another
Yeshua?
believer, man. I ain't trying to date nobody who don't believe in my Jesus.
Have you ever
You know?
dated anyone or thought about dating someone that didn't?
In high school,
Yeah.
I like talked to someone who was like a Muslim, which
Mhm.
was super interesting. And I mean, now I kind of have like a heart for them a little bit. Not a little bit, but like you know what I mean. Like
Well, it's okay. I'm not trying to say like they're not that far off because they are from what like we believe.
no, I know, I get it. Like I
Yeah.
have empathy towards them, you know. I'm not just like you know what no, like I understand.
Mhm.
Just like but it was just sucky. It was sad. And his mom was Catholic and then he was his dad was Muslim, so you know his dad had more influence on him, so he was Muslim, but he didn't know too much about like Islam, to be honest. But I would send him like videos and like testimonies of um, Muslim people like converting to Christianity and stuff like that. And honestly, yeah, but I didn't end up going far because I was like, listen, I didn't know when I was talking to him. We had this Christian club in high school, whatever. So when I was talking to him, he was going to that club, so I just assumed that he was a Christian. So by the time that we kept talking, whatever, I really liked him. It's like 2 months in. 2 months in, I find out he's not a Christian. I was like, oh my gosh. And I already had feelings for him. I was like, this is so hard. And
He's
like
like,
I
we
liked him
kind
so
of
much.
agree on Jesus a little bit. We kind of agree on Jesus, but not really.
No, Jesus Christ is Lord. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But
yeah.
I'm just saying, but they, yeah. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah. So he was just like, I was like, and I was getting out of it, but like it was hard because I had these feelings for that person, whatever. But yeah, that's my answer for you.
So that's like the closest you've gotten. But they were still part. Well, they're Muslim, but they weren't like full on. Like they were like by default Muslim by default, maybe.
Kinda. No, he was
Kinda.
Muslim. I brought
And
him to this play, but he was full Muslim.
so like you, okay, so like, and then as you got older, that's so good. I'll edit it out if you don't want it in
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
there. So like, and then after that, never even got close to dating anyone that like wasn't churched up. We should say.
Yeah.
Like not at all. Like never close. Like you don't get DM requests from just like random people. You go look at their profile and you're like, I can't tell.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
And then there's also those Christians that aren't really Christian. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I believe in God. Oh, yeah, I go to church. Bro, no, you don't. The last time you read your Bible was when you were in the 10th grade, okay? Don't even with me. But there was this one dude, okay? This was when I was in college, okay? And I was just, you know, I was a single girl. I was like, you know what? I just want to be taken out. I just want to, you know, go on a date, you know? So I downloaded this app. It wasn't Tinder, okay? I didn't stoop that low. But it was a dating app, and there was this guy, and he went to my school, and I was like, he is really cute. Like, guys, he was super cute. And I was like, okay, like we started talking, whatever. And I didn't know too much about him. And I went to a Christian university, so it wasn't like anything. I was like, oh, he's a Christian, you know.
Yeah.
And he played on the baseball team, possibly a red flag. Played on the baseball team, and we were hanging out. He took me out. I was like, he is so cute. And I enjoyed his personality. And one day they had like a little party and it was at his house. And he knew how I felt about weed because I literally had a presentation about why weed should not, like, weed is just not okay.
For sure.
And my guy had the audacity to smoke a blunt in front of me. He smoked a blunt in front of me. And it's like, I was like, no. And my friend that was with me, God bless her name's Tiffany, and she's so innocent, right? I was like, no. I was like, Tiffany, let's go. I was like, hey, we're gonna go, whatever. And then we left, and then I prayed. I was like, Lord, he's really fine. I don't know if I can cut it. So if you could please like get him to ghost me or cut it off, please, thank you. And he did. So yeah.
So you couldn't even choose that. You didn't even get to choose that.
No, I did choose it. I said,
Right.
Lord, please remove him. Remove him from my life because I don't think I can because he's too fine. So, yeah.
That's so funny. So like, okay, so this is kind of like off topic, but kind of on topic. So like, because you're on like Christian TikTok, you're like really on Christian TikTok.
I
And
mean, I
like,
kind of am, yeah.
no, you are. Like, you show up on
Oh,
that For
yeah?
You page. Yeah, you show up on that For You page. God, that was perfect. God, I'm gonna use that as a thumbnail.
Chill out.
I'm
I'm trying to
kidding.
look cute, you know? Like,
So like, you're really
yeah,
on.
use that for the thumbnail.
You're really on that For You page though, that Christian TikTok For You page. So, do you feel like, controversial question? You feel
Ooh,
like there's some of those people on there doing it for
controversy.
clout? Clout? You think they're
Oh,
doing it for
heck
clout?
yeah.
Some people, a
Yeah,
lot of
for
people,
sure.
majority of them.
For sure, dude. I catch myself. I'm like, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like,
Like, I'm gonna ride this algorithm out right now because I look good today.
oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, you know, yeah, for sure. There's like Christian people.
Do you not get along with some of them?
What? No.
Drama alert! Drama alert!
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, I can't.
There has to be. You don't got to talk about it, but I would assume it's
No.
just like anything. Like, okay, so this is the thing. It's just like anything else. Like, you like church people sometimes they like act like everything's perfect and this and that from
Oh, heck
outside.
no. Not everything's perfect.
No,
Bruh.
of course not. They're just normal
Listen.
people. There's normal people. So
Yeah.
I would assume it's the same thing on Christian TikTok. I'm sure
Oh,
there's people, guys talking to multiple girls at one time, dudes that are this, girls, blah, blah, whatever. I
I'm
would
not going to
assume.
go. Yeah. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but
No. But yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to spill too much tea, but it's not really tea.
But it is there. There is tea to be spilled. You're just not going
It's
to because
not
you're a good
real
person.
tea. It's like
PGT.
that's it. That's it.
PGT.
It ain't real tea. We don't spill real tea. This is a Christian TikTok, all right? Except, you know what I hate? You know what I strongly I gotta, you know what? I'm gonna rant a little bit. This isn't coming for anybody specifically, but this is just the Christian TikTok community. I feel like this is safe haven. I got my tea. I got Devon. Anyways, but you know what I don't like? I don't like all these people calling everybody a false prophet or a false teacher. I ain't about that. I don't like that trash. Another thing, everybody be talking about the American gospel more than this gospel, and I'm a freaking annoyed about it. That's another thing. Also, I love you guys. I love worshiping. I have prayed for people and seen them heal for real. Not like, oh yeah, like I prayed for somebody, like God heals them. I know that He does. No, I've seen people healed. Okay, I believe in healing. I believe that Jesus' blood is super powerful. But you know what I don't like? When everyone's gathered in huge groups next to each other in public and not wearing masks and worshiping. I don't know. I understand that you guys are trying to make a statement of faith and like so that you believe that Jesus Christ has all the power and authority, and He does. But you have to understand people are dying. People are dying, and what you're doing is not helping. If you want to make a statement, go into the hospital and pray for people. Go around the hospital. You don't have to even be close, but do not cause other people who don't believe in Jesus to really cause them to be angry. Be angry at God at what's happening, okay? Because when you're not wearing your mask, it's saying, you know what? I don't want to be slightly inconvenienced. Not that you have strong faith. And as Christians, we're supposed to represent Christ well and show love to other people, and us not wearing masks and being safe, or not wearing masks and like just like being all up and whatever in public and stuff is not making a good statement. You guys think you are, but you're not. And I've had people in my life who have died and who haven't had underlying conditions or whatever, and I've seen the effects that it's had. And one of those people believe that they were covered in the blood and actually got COVID from going to church. I still go to church, but I'm saying they didn't really wear masks. They didn't care. And she died, and she thought she was covered in the blood. And so there's some stuff that we won't understand, and that's okay. You know, we trust the Lord and we know that his kingdom is at hand. But yeah, just wear your mask. And it's anyways, that's my
It
rant.
it is a bit showy though. I know exactly what you're saying. It's like showy when there are people that are purposely doing it to
It's
make a statement.
rebellious. It's
Yeah.
rebellious.
Well, and it's another thing too to go out and do it as a statement to be like uh like it's kind of like using your faith, but it's not faith in the moment to, like you said, rebel, but then also kind of troll people. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like you're literally using your faith to kind of troll people.
You know what? I have received two from two different people. I've received this, okay? This statement. Oh, so this is one, and this is a friend. I'm not close to her. I decided that I need to guard myself from her, and like she's well, never mind. Cut that part out. But I received the statement from a similar statements from two people. But one of them was that, what now, since your family members died, you're gonna stop radically serving God just because I choose to wear a mask and keep distance. I have an issue with that. Also, like the people will say, you know, Jesus ministered to the leopard, and he did, but also he had literally, we don't talk about the story where Moses told the Israelites to put blood of the lamb across their door and stay inside as the death angel came over the city. We don't talk about that. And Jesus is the blood of the lamb, and we're supposed to cover our household, but he also it literally said to stay inside. And I think the Lord is teaching us something about intimacy. I think the Lord is teaching us something about intimacy, and that it's super important. And this isn't a time to be showy. It's not a time to be rebellious. It's not a time to be, I don't want to be slightly inconvenienced. It's a time to be unselfish and to cry with your neighbors and to be there for them, and not say, oh, just because you're not wearing a mask, or just because you're choosing to stay safe, to keep your family safe because they're at high risk, that you don't have strong faith.
I also feel like a lot of people in the church have like politicized it and tried to reinforce it with like their faith, and they're like, this is just what I believe, but really it's like I've noticed a lot of people, because they fall on one side of the political spectrum, which I'm not trying to get into, they are like using like their like faith in God to be like, no, like you said, or like we don't need the mask, blah 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 blah. But it's like, come on, like you're that's coming from somewhere else. Like that didn't just come from like, oh, you know, I have so much faith in God, I'm not going to wear masks. It's like, nah, you be watching too much TV and you just don't like a certain group of people and blah blah blah. I don't know. That stuff gets on my nerves. People get too crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I received that statement. If I'm not wearing like that, because I wasn't wearing a mask. I mean, because I was wearing a mask, and because I
Heathen.
decided to keep my distance,
You
that I was
heathen.
going to stop radically serving God.
You're terrible.
Yeah,
You're doing
I'm
nothing.
basically an atheist now. Sorry,
No,
guys.
seriously.
You're on your whatever. Good luck with that. Also, it was in a group. This was in a group chat, but
Oh, they called you out for everybody?
not me. But it was just like, because we were all having a discussion about
Oh,
something
okay.
about wearing masks and stuff like that. Um, and one person said, "What, you think a cloth is going to keep you safe? That's ridiculous. I'm leaving." And they left the group chat because of it. I was like, "What the heck, man?" Like saying that Jesus went to leopard, and I believe we should still pray for people who have COVID, but if there's a possible like, you may not get it, but you could be a carrier of it, and you could carry that disease to other people. There's just, don't take a chance. Like it's unnecessary.
Yeah, like one of my friends was actually from Florida. Um, he brought it over. He would assume he brought it over, but he tested positive for it, and it was like at the place that I was like working at a contract with at the time, and like like one other person got diagnosed positive with it, but we were all like in the same area. But like I was still like pretty like careful about it, wearing masks, like not really interacting with a bunch of people really closely, and but he was saying that in Florida, people were just like, there's heck of people that were like still going to the club, still going to the beach, hanging out, like having parties. He said before he left that his friends threw him a party and there was like 40 people there. And he was like, we didn't care. We're all in the same house. And he was like, now I'm upset that I got it. He felt fine, right? Like, thank God. But still, like the fact that he got it, he was like, oh, this is real. Like you really can catch this. And then it's kind of like you said, like you don't really get to choose like how you're going to react to it. You could be fine and you could be that percentage of people that ends up getting really sick. And you know,
Yeah. And if people were to like kind of like chill out, like like because people are super rebellious and they don't care, the disease has been here for a really long time in the
yeah,
US.
yeah,
Like it hasn't been that long for the other people. Like what, like Italy, they don't really have it that bad anymore.
yeah. No,
Neither does China, they're good. And but the US, we're full of rebellious people who sorry.
no, you're fine.
We're full of rebellious people who are literally, no, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna party. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all political. Blah, blah. No, dude, people are dying. It's like be cautious. Like, but
I know. I tried. Sorry, I brought up the COVID thing, or maybe you brought it up. I don't know,
no, I
but
mean,
like, it is
I
kind of
don't
wild.
care. It's been something that I wanted to talk about. So I'm passionate about it, especially seeing my parents like cope with it, and like us like being super careful because my dad is super high risk. Like he does have underlying conditions, and
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want my dad to die.
Of course not.
So
Yeah, it's understandable. 100% understandable.
yeah,
Do you have we? Do you have anything? What is it? We've been recording for like an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. Do you have anything? Yeah, I know. I didn't realize it either.
I didn't realize either. Should I bring my puppet back out?
Yeah. Do you do you have like we can go for as long as you want, honestly. I just
Okay.
told no, I told you like 45 minutes an hour, so I didn't want to like take up too much of your
Oh,
time.
I don't care. We're like FaceTiming. It's just recording.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like do you have anything that you feel like you want to leave people advice that you want to leave anyone off with when it comes to dating, maybe careers, maybe just specifically to girls, maybe specifically to guys, anything. You have the floor to say whatever. What if I just got hecka mad at that because I'm like, you know what? I'm native. You can't. I'm just one of
Oh,
those
come on.
I'm kidding. I'm not one of the stereotypical California people that like gets like butt hurt over
I
everything.
do that. Listen, whatever.
I think it's hilarious. I
Yeah,
was just
I didn't.
joking.
That wasn't like a taunt, like a what's it,
Hmm.
like a push towards you or anything.
I'm just
I
kidding.
just do
I
that.
know.
But
I'm just kidding. Do you really
um,
do that? Is that one of the things that you do?
yeah.
What do you want to leave people off on?
Woo! um, let's see. I don't know.
Nothing. You have any advice? Let me throw these up for you. Give me some piece of advice for young girls that are in their teens that are like looking to date and they're like early on in their faith. I have a couple cousins that are around that age.
Don't date.
It's a good idea, actually. It's a good
Yeah,
idea. You
for
should
real.
listen to Nicole. Don't date.
Just don't date. Don't do it. You ain't ready. You're gonna get your heart hurt. I know it looks delicious. Trust me. I get it. Boys are cute, and it seems fun. You see it in the movies, but it's not like the movies. But if you do decide, guard your heart. Super important. Guys will say anything, try to do anything to get in your pants. And even if they're Christian.
It's true. It's true. Can't trust
So
dudes. Do not
you
trust
can't,
dudes.
you can't, honestly. So guard your heart. And make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who love God, who will be honest with you. Um, find somebody who's older than you. If you do decide to date, even if you don't decide to date, find a woman in your life or a girl that's
Someone's
even
got more experience,
younger.
yeah.
Yeah, that can give you good advice. Yeah, so find someone if you can. Try. Seriously, I wish I had that. And if not, talk to your mom. Like if they love God, especially talk to your mom. They're not your mom is not going to lead you astray. And if you don't have a mom, a sister, a cousin, or like I said, somebody older in your life. And yeah, just don't have sex. That's a whole nother thing though. That's a whole nother topic that we could talk about another time. But anyways,
That would actually be an interesting podcast.
oh, we could totally talk about sex. I will be ready. I will have Corinthians out. We will go ham. We will talk about not going ham.
So much better. I was gonna
No.
do it. I was like, I was so close. I was like right there.
Until you're married. And do not sin
Then
against your own body, my
yeah.
girl.
Wait till
That's
you're
a
married.
precious jewel. So,
And then any advice on dudes trying to slide into girls' DMs?
ooh, this is good.
I know.
Listen, you be bold. You tell her. You tell her what's up. Hey, hey, mommy. Hey, baby girl. No, don't do it like
A
that.
voice message.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, video message. That I just feel like that hits different. Honestly, personally, if you're gonna go after a girl, you do a video message. Make sure you look nice that day. Work out that day. You know, just
Keep that pump
wear
going.
a
Keep
nice
that pump
shirt.
going.
Huh?
Keep that pump going. Keep
Oh
that
yeah,
tank
but
top
wear a
on.
shirt. Wear a shirt. Wear a nice shirt. You know, like, and if you really like her, make sure you look clean, have a good haircut, and just be like, hey, like, I think you're super beautiful. And if she lives in your area, and just be like, I would love to take you out and to get to know you. Oh, sorry, birds. And get to know you better. You seem like an awesome person. You could talk about what you like about her. And yeah, I would really love to do that and get to know you more.
It's as simple as that. You
Yeah.
heard it, guys. If you, dude, send us video messages. Somebody send a video message.
Listen, video messages, they hit different. That's my tip for you.
It's actually a great tip. I got some good ones from my friend Natalie when we recorded. That is a great one. It's a very good one actually.
Yeah.
And then
If you want to be real different,
oh, okay, yeah.
ooh, wear a suit. Wear a suit. Listen, because suits, they hit real different. Maybe like you're walking out of church, you know, like make sure you get that church in the background. Like you're not saying it, right? But you just came from church. Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I made a TikTok like wearing a bunch of suits and like it's slightly taken off, but it's funny you say that because like I got a couple DMs from girls
Oh,
telling
for
me
sure.
that they
That
like me in a
works.
suit. Yeah.
Or if you
Suit
don't have a
works.
suit, get your mom in the video message and have her talk good about you.
Really?
That I feel like that would hit so different because it shows how confident you are and how good of a relationship you have with your mom.
It's true. Actually, it's a very good point. Unconventional. But that's what I'm looking for because there's no way like any guy would have thought to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great idea. And then your YouTube channel. I'm gonna link all that stuff. What do you
Okay, yeah.
are you doing? She has a podcast coming, guys. She has a podcast
I
coming.
don't
She has a
have a
YouTube
podcast
channel.
coming. I don't have anything to talk about. If I'm going to talk about it, it's going to be in video format, okay? I want to do this face to to screen, all right?
I'm probably gonna zoom in on your eyes when I do that, like face to
Oh my gosh.
face. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share. I know I don't tell you guys to go after my Patreon, but check out the Patreon. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, you don't got to worry about it. It does not even matter. Um, Other than that, thank you, Nicole. I appreciate it, guys. If you don't know, fun fact: like I sent Nicole a DM like without even knowing her, and I was like, "Hey, you want to be on my podcast?" And she said, "Yeah," and then she never responded back.
Yeah, but
I
then,
remember that.
yeah. And then we became friends. And then you asked me again. I was like, yeah, I'll be on your podcast.
For real, for real. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, share, and then go follow Nicole. Make sure you guys go follow Nicole. And yeah, this is another very casual. What's the name of it? A casual dating podcast. There we go. All right.
A casual dating podcast. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good show.
Yeah, that's what's the advice that I give. Okay.